Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun.
Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday. And normally Wednesdays are kind of like increased activity days, but it's kind of looking like it might be a little bit quiet today. Let's come in and take a look at the charts, and then I'll talk about why I think that So, yesterday in the treasuries, well, we did get a pretty heavy sell yesterday. I mean, I get it, like, that's a huge sell, right? Okay, this doesn't seem like so big. But for the time of day and everything else, it was a little bit of a concerning move. Now, it was accompanied by pretty strong upside in the equity indexes. So, probably our best guess as to what's causing that flow is risk-off flows. Or, sorry, risk-on. Risk-on. Anyways, they are kind of selling a little bit here this morning again. So, and this again is with the SPOOs moving up. Oil recovered all of the, this kind of pullback was pretty significant. I kind of thought maybe that's the end of the rally, but hey, that's looking pretty good. Gold and silver kind of struggling here. Silver in particular, that's a little ugly. Copper just kind of moving sideways there still. Not as much. I mean, maybe we need to zoom in a little bit, but just not as much happening over there in copper. And the Japanese yen recovering quite a bit versus other peers. And so the dollar is actually down. If you look at some of the other things like the euro, they aren't doing quite as well. So kind of some interesting flux going on in the currencies. There is some money moving around out there. I'm not seeing stuff like money moving into the treasuries though, unfortunately. Bitcoin's still holding around the 104,000 mark. So the thing is we had CPI yesterday. We get PPI and retail sales tomorrow. So even though Wednesday tends to be the most active day of the week, I think that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to kind of be holding off. Also on Monday, we saw like one of the biggest short covering events ever in the markets. So it really was the case, people taking their money out of whatever safe havens they had and throwing it back into equities as fast as they possibly could. So because they did so much activity on Monday, I don't think that there's going to be as much fuel here this morning. Now, we got to get back to our algorithm now, and I did turn it on, and it is changing here, but it is not like moving on. Input string was not in the correct format. Will it allow me to debug it this time? Okay, I can turn it off. I could potentially just open up the data files. But, I open them up and I don't see it. And then what I do is probably easier to just open the debugger and see what the debugger says. Debug attached to process. Okay. Try enabling this again. See if I can get that error message to pop up again. Also, good morning, Ray, A. Paul, Uzi, and DC Verax. I am getting some signs in our in the yield curve here that something interesting could happen. So I guess it's not going to be completely uneventful. I'm still going to be pretty hesitant to really take on risks today. Also, I just did not sleep well last night. You know what it was is the toilet was broken. I think a child stuck a toy in it. Because, like, water would kind of come out, but not really. And I tried putting an auger up there, and it's like it would just bottom out, just hit into something hard. Like it's got to be like a plastic toy, like a big circular plastic toy or something. So we just ended up replacing the whole toilet because we couldn't get it out. But that meant I ended up going to bed much later than I would like, and I still feel kind of tired. Okay, so it is this is so weird. Okay, let's try it this way. Reload all historical data. It's funny that reloading the data over here makes my ZB chart reload, but it must be because it has the knob spread on it. That does not look good for the 30 year there, man. Oh, that's interesting. All right, well. What? Oh, 2024. 2025. Oh, 5. 14. Oh, that's ES1. So this must be ZN. 1 minute. Market order imbalance. All of the data points are bad. It kind of looks like I've crashed this chart, so I'm going to try starting here. That one's hosed. The recorded live ones are all screwed up. Essentially, after yeah, I'm not quite sure what that's about. How many of these are like that? Okay, we'll try that. Good thing not too much is happening, right? So remove the super smoother. I'll open up the debugger just in case. Okay. May just be that chart is hosed and we need to remake that chart. We'll see. Because the problem is like the indicators will start working, but then when the bar changes, it doesn't start the new bar. Aha. Okay. Now we're good. So it was just the corrupt data created by me not paying attention and not having enough disk space that was creating the issue. So the robot is in there. It looks like it actually trying to take a trade. I thought I had taken off. So I'll close Visual Studio here now. I thought I had taken off the bit that added the second imbalance. I did not. So we'll do that. See if I duplicate that. Does it duplicate the strategy? No, it does not. Okay, that's fine. We want to add resting orders, I think. So this one shows me max and mins, and maybe I just need one that says, just tell me what the current thing is. Well, let's try that for now. There we go. I think I'm just going to make a new indicator here. It's not that the ones that I got can't do it. Okay, so it did do it there. It's just not quite the way that I want it to be for this particular algorithm. So I do think that yeah. Congress is fighting over the VAT tax again. Or sorry, not VAT tax. What is that called? It. What do they call it? Salts. They're fighting over salt tax deductions. I think that this all kind of long. I also think one reason why I should change this is that it will be doing less calculations. It'll be doing less calculations, so that'll probably help the algorithm too.
Order submitted.
Okay. I'm a little skeptical of that one. I think on a day like today that you take the opposite of the signal, right? Ah, here it is. Well, it's going. See if that compiles. Of course it doesn't. Close so. There we go. I don't think I changed the name of it correctly. Buyers not getting results at lows. Yeah, they're like pounding right through them, man. Sorry for having the chart kind of covering it up there a little bit. Let's make that chart smaller. But you can see there was like a 4K iceberg. Like the buyers had their liquidity there. The liquidity didn't pull. The liquidity just went through them. I wouldn't say that it was like a huge change, but about 10,000 contracts or so. We get 2 or 3 ticks. Impatience and panic potential? Oh, I don't know. When you say that, it kind of makes me think like, oh, this could turn into like a really huge trend day. But I think that any kind of like really good move that you get going is likely to fizzle out really quickly. Like, I think that was it. I think that was the opportunity. Like my algorithm, yeah, it caught a little bit, but I wish that it was just taking the 2 ticks, right? Yeah, not that kind of panic, more like my long position isn't worth holding panic. Well, yeah, but wouldn't that push it lower? I don't know. Wouldn't that be another 5,000 contracts at least that would puke? Okay, well, it's not doing anything. It's because I don't think that I added this stuff to actually, like, the actual data series and so forth. if it does go significantly lower, I will definitely be like, okay, you're trying to say the same thing. All right. Well, I don't know. Yeah. If it goes lower, I'm going to be like, oh, I was wrong. Super, super wrong. I can't squirm out of it if it really significantly goes lower, right? That's the whole thing was, I don't think it's going to move very much today. Oh, okay, it moved a little bit, but I think that's probably like you buy it there. And I don't know if it would make sense to take like a main reversion trade, like buy it and try and write it back to 01. I don't know if the effort and the risk is worth it, but I don't think that we're going to go lower. I really don't think that we're going to go lower. Okay. Oh, right. Oh. Okay. No. This should be... It should be cornflower blue. Asks should be orange. I truly hope I'm wrong because, you know, the algorithm is short. But the whole thing is I'm concerned that it's only going to get a few ticks. I don't know, with the way that it's acting like there, it does kind of look like it's not done yet. I wouldn't say that I'm paying super close attention though. Okay, that's working, but I don't like them on top of each other. So I'm just gonna invert the best bid part. There we go. Can position be 0? I don't remember how they index these, so I might be getting this all wrong because this is maybe 0. What I'm seeing on my chart here and what I'm seeing over here is not the same. So it's like it's not doing the ads, I think. Yes, it does. It does do it as 0. Okay. So that might explain that. Oops. Oh, it's coming back with a vengeance there, isn't it? I don't know, that part looks correct to me. Let's see, that it says 1650. Like it just doesn't seem that. Oh, because I'm not keeping track of the next price up. That's why. So I guess I have to do all that funky stuff with adding and removing and stuff. But that should mean that when it does tick up, it should be relatively close. Yeah. It's only if it ticks up and like the next price doesn't shift, essentially. Oh, all of the operations that I get are updates. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the add and subtracts are only like it's adding the next,
Block cell.
10 away. Wow, that okay. And now that is very interesting because the cumulative delta was very much flat through that, even though I would say there was a decent amount of volume through it. So I guess it was what I was expecting to see happen. It's just kind of like I'm a little bit surprised. See, like it chat changed to 1239 and I'm not seeing it over there. It's probably that we're one tick behind error. Calculates on each tick, but it doesn't call the on bar up. It calls the on bar update first, I think. So actually should be this. Mm-hmm. So they're still not completely updating though. What if I get rid of the lock? Is it that? I'm not sure that I need that part for what I'm doing. The lock. There's this thing to like lock the market depth while it's, because if you're managing the whole book and everything, you don't want to get out of sync and stuff. But, or have like multiple things updating at the same time. But I don't think that would happen with the way that I'm doing it. So Let's see if that changes it. Oops, gotta make a slight little change here. It's still not doing it though, right? That one's 16, 15, and it's not updating. Yeah, for some reason they're just, I mean, like it's close enough, but they're just not quite in sync. See right there, now it says it's 153. Is it because, no, oh, maybe it didn't, no. See, why isn't it? I'm trying to think about how I normally manage like a whole book. Alright. Yeah, my financial juice isn't updating with it. Oh, there we go. Looks like the open imbalance is in favor of the buyers, but not by too much. Did I forget to build that? Oh wait, there it is right there. No. Seems okay to me.
Order canceled.
Is it gonna buy here? It is. Fortunately, it did end up losing a tick. Could have made, like, what, 2 ticks, but... And 01, remember 01 was the kind of the spot where I was like, well, if I was going to take the mean reversion, why not take it back to the point of control? That would be an area where, you know, the latent liquidity might be less, and so it might slide back into it. Although it has been 30 minutes, so I wouldn't discount the possibility of it just continuing up through. I still feel, yeah, it definitely is like this right here. Unless I'm not, it's not updating, right? So got to be some situation where like that thing updates and it's not at position 0 when it updates for whatever reason. Maybe I just need to add a force refresh. It could be that. You know what? I think it was just that. Okay. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that built. So it's a new version. I just like created a new version of the strategy that has that indicator added to it. So tomorrow it should run with that instead of this other market order imbalance data series. And then we can start to write logic about how it should submit orders based on that. But for now, I'm not going to mess with it. I will close this because it looks like that was working. You know, I didn't realize, but they were kind of making a run for 4.5 there at one point before it turned around. Turn that fan on to try and it is cooling down in here, or it is pretty cool in here, but it's like all staying on the floor. So I'm going to turn the fan on to try and mix the air up a little bit. Okay, you know what's something that I really hate is when retail traders come along and they start calling things something different. So here this person, he's talking about cumulative delta, but he's going to call it cumulative volume delta. I bet you that's must be what it's called on TradingView or something like that, right? But it just drives me crazy. That helps us see who's behind the candles? Not necessarily. So you can have it moves up and it's moving up on strong delta. You could have it move up and it doesn't move up on strong delta. And there's actually a lot of limit orders. But they could also have it move up and it doesn't move on very strong delta, and it's because there wasn't very much volume at all. Double O Kaizen. Ever wonder how the rice trader who invented candlesticks beat the markets without any of this technology? Are you sure that he actually did? Like, have you seen his broker verified broker statements? Let me try that again. Ever wonder how the rice trader who invented candlesticks beat the markets without any of this technology? How do you know that he actually beat the markets? Like, have you seen his broker statements? I haven't seen this guy's broker statements. I haven't seen Homa Muisha's broker statements. Are you sure that he actually did make money? Or maybe it was because he was trading the basis. Like, he would have the actual rice, you know, like he would own actual rice and be delivering it. And then he'd be looking at the price and all those sorts of things. That was the top comment to that. I can't believe that's like the top comment. I went downvote him. Yeah. Telling you, whenever these sorts of things pop up in a retail trading community, you're always going to see somebody trying to smack it down. And why is that? Is it because, well, they really, there's just a lot of people that really don't believe in it? Yeah, but why is there always somebody doing that? Like, shouldn't there always be somebody poo-pooing on any kind of strategy, no matter what? But that's not necessarily what we see. I'll tell you why things like cumulative delta particularly upset them. It's because they don't have it. They can't stand the thought of that there is data or information out there available that can benefit your trading that they don't have. That's also why they're so Redditors, especially right now, so obsessed with is the Trump administration insider trading. I mean, it's not a good thing if it's creating a conflict of interest. That's why those sorts of things are bad. But you should realize that there are people out there that are able to trade on information that you don't have. And that is like literally why the market exists. So if your ideal version of a market is one where you cannot trade on information that other people don't have, then don't trade, because that's like literally the only reason that the market exists. Oh, wow, that's an interesting chart. This chart is showing poly-market odds of a recession. And it was almost as high as 70% at one point. Really? Wowzer. By the way, something that we didn't get to yesterday, there's been this whole thing about like who capitulated, which I think is kind of like a silly question. Like, I don't know. Does it really matter that who capitulated as much as it is that a deal is actually getting done? That seems like something that you're focusing on it purely because it is optics, But what we did find out was that discussions started because China reached out to the Trump administration through a back channel. So like we had this thing where they reach out to the Trump administration through a back channel. Donald Trump says, you guys should be buying the S&P 500, right? Then they have talks over the weekend, market goes up. And a lot of people were pointing to these option trades going into Friday. But like, how can you necessarily say that those orders are nefarious when Donald Trump was like literally on Twitter telling people to buy? Like, come on. You could have made that trade. Probably didn't have the guts to buy out of the money spy calls like that, but still, you could have done that. I think we knew just as well as anybody else that there was discussions happening that weekend. Okay, they just touched seller's cost basis at 03, by the way, and backed off a tick. What? Somebody posted a 200 SMA strategy here. What backtester is this? Haven't heard too much from the news squawk today either, by the way. When you think about it, this is like what? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 tick range? That is pretty tight. S&P 500 is selling off a bit, but it still looks pretty gentle. It's kind of funny that they went and they tagged that seller's cost basis and then immediately came back to the
Order
point of
canceled.
control area. Oh, it's going to take a short there, huh? Okay. So in that situation, the book is relatively equal at 01 and 00 half. So I think that a market order at 00 half makes sense. And a down tick, okay. Oh wow! You know what? We just got the beep, and I got the trade at the same time, and I didn't even realize. Like, it's time for me to get going. Man, this session is so short, but you know, we did some programming. We accomplished some stuff. There's a couple of interesting things going on. Market is at 5,900 right there. We'll see if they fight for that price. It does seem like there's a little bit of flurry of activity happening over here because of that. But I am going to get going, guys. So tomorrow, PPI should be a more interesting day, and we see what we get from that, huh? Yeah. Thank you for tuning in the meantime. Stay excellent, team.